Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Child, this is The Circle, Season 2, Episode 13, and the winner is... Let me tell y'all something, honey. I was kind of upset that it was only one episode, but then at the same time, the suspense was killing me. So I'm glad we got into it as we got into it. If this is your first time here, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back, honey. You know, we always gather here on Wednesdays to talk about The Circle. Now, child, let's get into it, okay? So it's the final day of The Circle. Nobody has any idea who was eliminated, right? But then they get an alert and find out who it was that got eliminated. So they find out that it was Mitchell. So then Michelle tells them that they must do their final ratings. But before that, they had a circle chat. So when they found out it was Mitchell, Chloe was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Well, Chloe, honey, you can believe it because you didn't want to believe Mitchell and Trevor / Delisa when they were trying to tell you that Courtney couldn't be trusted. Okay. So Trevor was really hurt that Mitchell was eliminated because I think she thought, okay, there's no possible way that anything good is going to come of this for Trevor because now the little trifecta that I tried to perform is now, honey, I don't even know what it is. It's a parentheses at this point. Okay. So then Michelle tells them they're going to do their final ratings. They start rating. And what I thought was strange is that when they did their final ratings, Courtney voted John as his number one. But then I thought about it and River voted John as his number one last week. So, I mean, I guess that's just how they playing the game. But then what really shocked me is that River was actually rating people based on his emotions. I'm like, now is the time to play the game. Now is not the time to be going with your emotions. Okay. Now is the time to strategize. So the final ratings are in. Okay. The first person, then they tell them that they're going to be having another circle chat, but they're going to be doing it face to face. And this is my favorite part of the entire season. I cannot wait till they meet each other so they can figure out who was who and who was catfishing and who was lying and who was this and who was that. I love it. Okay, so the first person to make it to the dinner was Chloe, honey, the lady in red. She made it. She's like looking all around trying to figure out what's going on. Then she gets an alert and finds out Trevor will be coming next. Okay. Why was my palm sweating? I was like, oh my gosh, what is she going to think about Jay, honey? She going to realize that she is Beyonce and it's another Beyonce coming, honey. It's two Beyoncés. It's no Jay-Z, honey. So then Trevor comes in the door and I thought my heart was going to drop. Okay. But Chloe, she took it well. I mean, so in walks Bombshell Delisa and Chloe's mouth was wide open, honey. No more being Jay, honey. No more. Okay, so Chloe took it well though. So then the girls chatted up a little bit and Trevor was like, you know what? I blame you. Well, Delisa, she's like, because you flirted with me first. And I mean, I couldn't just let you down. So I had to just go along with it, right? But they chatted it up and both, complimented each other. Girl, you look beautiful. Girl, you look beautiful too. Oh my God, I knew it was you. And then Chloe was like, I don't have any catfish radar. Okay, Chloe girl, honey, well, stop acting like you didn't think that Tara Alicia was a catfish. You don't remember that? Okay, girl, but then I guess you might be right because Tara Alicia wasn't a catfish. She was actually her. So you may be okay. So then they get another alert that Courtney will be joining them. Courtney comes in, their jaws dropped because they couldn't believe that he was actually real. And then he couldn't believe that Trevor was a catfish. And then he tells them that the only reason why he didn't vote Trevor out was because he didn't want to separate Trevor and Chloe. And I believe him because, Chloe is his girl, honey. He gonna stand 10 toes down for Chloe through this whole thing. Chloe and River and Savannah, honey, let's not forget. So, I thought that he would keep them, and that kind of made sense. So, he came in, he hugged Delisa, but y'all, I thought he was gonna faint when he saw Chloe. I think he thought Chloe was the actual Beyonce for real. I was like, oh, don't pass out on us, Courtney. So as they're talking, of course, Chloe is saying, I don't know if anyone wants a catfish. She was so confused. She didn't know. And then they get another alert that River was going to be joining. Okay. So that Courtney is super excited because River is his circle bestie. Okay. So then River / Lee shows up and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you pulled that off. And so he was just basically telling them that, he's written in a female pen name for years. And River was actually a character that he created in his mind. And the person whose picture he's using is actually a friend of his who is 20. He's a straight guy. And he felt like this was his coming out in the new day and age. So he chalked it up to him just being able to pull through because it was something that he could relate to, right? So then they asked him, they ask him a little bit more about River, and then he tells them that he was the secret influencer. And so then Courtney revealed that he was the Joker. So then Chloe said, well, why did you say all those bad things about me if you were the Joker? I'm like, okay, Chloe, honey, you still want to know what I was doing, honey. So Courtney told her, well, I had to do that because I was playing as Emily because it was anonymous. I don't know if I believe that, but let me tell y'all something that I realized in this moment when I was watching Courtney in the room with all the other people. I don't know if it was just me, but I saw a little bit of insecurity in him. And I saw a lot more realness in him. Just in that moment being in there. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was his facial expressions. I don't know if it was just something about him. I warmed up to him a little bit in that moment. One thing about me is that I am an empath, and I have a heart for everyone. Although I didn't appreciate how Courtney played the game, and I'm still side-eyeing him about the sisters, honey, sister. I'm still side-eyeing him about that. I do see a little bit of insecurity in him, and he probably would have been somebody that I would have been friends with in school off the mere fact that I don't ever want anybody to feel alone. So as I was watching him and then remembering back when he said it was hard for him to make friends, I can kind of see that in him, honey. I'm just saying, I kind of saw it in him in that moment. So then after that, they're talking, and then they get the final alert, and they realize that Lisa/Lance/Emily/Jack/John, honey, woo, they got so many aliases, honey. You would think they running from the law, okay? Anyway, so they come in as a collective, and they join the group. So then they tell them how they came about getting a second chance. So they asked, was it harder playing a catfish together as opposed to just being separate? And so here's Lisa. Oh, no, it was great for me. Well, we know, Lisa, because you didn't do nothing, honey. Not nothing. Pinky and the brain. John, a.k.a. Jack, was actually the brains. And, honey, you were Pinky. He was sitting there making you egg sandwiches, rubbing your feet at night, putting the whole thing together. The whole man was created off of his grandfather's persona, honey. We know you liked it, child. And Jack was sitting over there like, it was pretty hard. Jack was like, I had to do all the work, child. It was pretty hard, okay? Then they go to the final circle meeting at Michelle's penthouse, child, and it's time to find out who is going to be the winner of the circle. When I tell y'all I am so invested, I am too invested in this show, okay, child? Let's get into it if we're going to get into it, honey. So all of the block players are there, and, honey, the girls are still fighting, okay? So Michelle starting up some mess, child. So she asked Savannah, would you change anything about the way that you played the game? So Savannah, being her, she was like, no, I wouldn't change anything. And so then she asked Tara Alicia the same question. But before she did that, she said, do you feel like, a lot of things were misconstrued because when you're sending text, you can't really see the emotion behind what the person is saying? So Savannah was like, yeah, I do feel like some things were kind of taken out of context because I didn't really realize how you were feeling. And then Tara Alicia said, I feel like Savannah threw me under the bus with some lies, which you did, honey. I ain't taking it back. I said what I said and I ain't changing it. Tara Alicia was wrongfully accused of something she didn't do, honey. Roll the tape, honey. Roll that beautiful bean footage, okay? So then Savannah was like, you thought it was a lie. She was like, it was a lie. She was like, no, you thought it was a lie. And all the while, child, I'm looking over at Kat, and Kat is like sipping that champagne. Kat sipping the hell out of that champagne, and her and Mitchell are toasting each other, honey. The shade of it all. Kat was like, look, I'm glad I ain't involved, child. That's on y'all, okay? Then Michelle asks, Kat, do you feel like you came in too hot? And so she was like, you know what? I definitely should have not worried about Chloe and who everybody went to see. And I feel like if I would have played the game a little bit differently, then I would be sitting on the couch instead of sitting over here with the block players. Then the final players show up. We have Delisa, River, Lance, Jack, child, any, mini, mighty, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. Y'all know who the finalists are, child. Everybody shows up, okay? So they asked Delisa about flirting with Chloe, right? And so then she was like, well, she flirted with me first, and you can't let a girl down, especially as a dude. So once she started flirting, I had to just keep the party going, basically. I mean, I couldn't just very well be like, nah, I don't want to flirt with you anymore. And so then they asked, will the real Joker please stand up, honey? And Courtney stood up and took a bow, child, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, they could not believe that he was the Joker. But I don't think Kat and Mitchell were surprised because they had already figured out who the Joker was before they got blocked. Okay, if y'all remember that. So then they asked about the Circle besties, Courtney and River. Honey, Brian's sitting over there looking like, who are all these people? Y'all know Jesus Juice got eliminated after being there for like 5 minutes. So he was looking around like, anybody gonna ask me any questions? So then Michelle said, Bryant, what do you think about all this? And he's like, I'm just happy that Courtney, Chloe, and River stuck together. Honey, that's all Brian got, y'all. Because he's like, I don't know nobody else, child. So don't ask me no questions. Then the final ratings are in. Whew, okay, everybody, child, y'all get ready. In 5th place, we have, and I'm going to take a dramatic pause, just like the show. In 5th place, we have Dear John. Child, I bet he didn't think he was going to be on the bottom, or they didn't think they were going to be on the bottom, especially when they skated on into the finale, okay? In 4th place, we have Old Man River. Bye, River. Bye, Ashy. No, I'm just kidding. In 3rd place, we have Courtney. Bye, Courtney, honey. And in 2nd and 1st, honey, so we sitting here, child, trying to figure out who is going to be the winner of the circle. So Beyonce and Jay-Z are left. Child, the power couple is holding hands, honey, waiting on the final rating. The winner of the circle is my boo, Delisa. Honey, Trevor won the circle. When I tell y'all, I screamed and jumped up, and let me tell y'all, I also cried. And let me tell y'all why I did. Because me auditioning for the circle and me actually wanting to be a part of it is because I want to be able to buy a home for my son. So to see that she actually won and she's going to take that money back to her family, they're going to get a home for their beautiful baby. It just resonated with me so much. And I was so excited that somebody with a pure heart and pure intentions actually won this show. I was like shocked. Trevor, honey, Delisa, baby, look, I doubted you a little bit along the way because I didn't know if you were going to be able to pull through. I didn't know if you were going to be able to stay in character because sometimes you slipped. But let me tell you, honey, you did the damn thing. Congratulations. So Delisa/Trevor is the winner of The Circle Season 2. Hopefully your girl comes home with the gold, honey. Hopefully I get past casting. Hopefully they come on over to the YouTubes and see what I'm putting down and they pick it up so I can be over there and then I can come back and tell y'all all about it. Thank y'all for sharing this journey with me. We are done with The Circle Season 2. That's a wrap. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.